Hi survivors, it's me Purpose and reporting to you. Hope you guys are doing well because what's going on in this world is not. I'd like to thank Queen for sending me so many stories. I'm just not talking about the train and bridge collapsing in Yellowstone. I think it happened like a week ago. Y'all know I was offline in the country with the prophet. But I want to talk about these things that are happening right before our very eyes. And I think it's important not to ignore the signs of times in which we are living in. We're seeing this stuff unfold right before us. We talking about it, but we know we don't have the power to do anything about it but to pray. It's a lot of power in prayer. You'll be surprised how prayer truly changes things. So I like to encourage all of us, when you're praying, or if you're not praying, start praying first of all. When you pray, because we're here in this country, all this stuff is going left right before our very eyes. Pray for this country. Pray for the people here in this country. Pray that God have mercy and grace upon us and our families and our children to get us through these times. We're seeing things happen that we would have never thought in our lifetime would happen. And y'all, I try to iterate this as much as possible. And I'm doing it too. And I know I've been working a lot like everybody else. So it's kind of hard to find time to exercise and hard to find time to, well, a lot of people think to meditate or to pray. But y'all, without doing these things, we're not going to make it. I was walking every day, and then I started working all these jobs, and I started discovering that I wasn't walking as much. And I saw myself being more irritable, being more irritated, being stressed out more. And even with my prayers, I'll wake up in the morning, pray. But then when you be so exhausted, sometimes you feel like you don't have time to pray because you got to hurry up and go clock in or something. But we can't forget to do these things. These things are even more important than the things that we think that we have to do to keep up with everything. Without prayer, without exercising, without eating healthy, we literally won't survive. Every time I pray, I ask and I beg God, have mercy upon us. Help us. These are serious times. Y'all, every day we don't know what else gonna happen. Nobody could have told me just a couple of years ago that we wouldn't even be able to inhale the air outside without being affected by it. All the stuff they putting in the air, in the water, in the food, allegedly, only because I have to say it. But we know what's going on. Y'all, it's worse than ever. This stuff is seriously affecting people's body and mind. A doctor in the emergency room called it an environmental disaster. And they have to stay hush-hush about these things. We may not be powerful in regards to ranking and money when it comes to these politicians, but we're powerful with our prayers. We're powerful with fasting. We're powerful but with believing and having faith and hope that God gonna turn this thing around for us. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have. And even at the beginning of the day, that's all we have. The prophet was talking about last week how he was going to do a hymn album because he's like, our ancestors back in the day, the slaves back in the day, that's all they had was those hymns, those gospel hymns they would sing them hymns without music, the hymns without music, you know? And he's like, those times got them by, those things got them by praying and the hymns, worshiping God. You know, y'all know I'm not no saint. I grew up on the streets. I grew up with grandparents, but then I